Welcome to 2024. Holy shit. Alright, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and like the intro said, it's 2024. Welcome to the new year. I hope all of your new year, new me things aren't nearly as cringe as half of the ones I've seen online already. It's pretty bad. All these people thinking they're gonna change and make their lives that much better. Ha! I mean, I hope they do, but you know, you see it every year. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get on the straight edge train, or I'm gonna clean up my eating habit, or I'm gonna try really hard to get that promotion, or I'm going to stop dating fuckboys." Nope, they're gonna still date some more fuckboys. They're gonna eat a handful of donuts and have way more cheat days than they expected. But yeah, so I'm not here to preach new year, new me. New year, same old Black Metal Rebellion. Might not be much black metal, but that's the name of the channel. Still same interest in music and horror movies. Still gonna have some reviews coming out. Probably some more long hiatuses where I don't post videos for like a month at random. But I will keep bringing content to this channel as long as I have stuff to show you, and I will hopefully do it at least once every week or two if I, again, have stuff to show you. So yeah, let's start off the new year right with two fat fistfuls of metal related things. Got a couple of things in here though that you might have seen before, but I haven't officially done a collection update for, so let's get those out of the way first. First thing being this EP by Revenge Prevails. My boys at Revenge Prevails sent me this to review. Pretty good, not their usual stuff. If you want to see my full review of it, go back a couple of videos or just go to my reviews playlists and click on one of the more recent ones. But yeah, you should see it there. Revenge Prevails, though, if you don't know, are a black death metal band from Sweden. This isn't the only band you'll see from Sweden on this update, though. They have 3 tracks: Maw, Dungeon, and Sculptor. Really interesting art. I got the sticker in there they sent me. Thanks again to Joseph for providing this review copy for me. They're blackened death metal with some melodic parts here and there, some prog stuff in this EP, and they started in 2008. Besides this, they do have 3 other full-length albums and a debut EP. So yeah, if you like this, the other stuff's gonna be slightly different, but they do have a little bit of material to dive into other than this, and they are pretty damn good in my opinion. So do yourself a favor and check out Revenge Prevails. Hardly ever miss. Moving right along now to something else that I did a review for, and kind of a whole band retrospective, because at the time Metal Archives didn't have pretty much anything by this band up, and that video was directed right to Metal Archives and be like, hey, get your shit together, document this guy's stuff because he's got a ton of it. They still don't have all of his albums up there, but what I'm talking about is Greg Filth with Greg Filth Volume 1. This is a DIY press from Rotting Sun Records. Again, did a whole retrospective review of this project and this compilation. Greg Filth, for the most part, is black metal and blackened sludge. This was released in 2023 though, but he did start his music in 2020. He started the whole Greg Filth persona, I think around 2018 though, because it was part of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So that's kind of neat, which is why Greg Filth isn't named Jack Filth. Thanks, Jack, by the way, for this copy. He made his character in Dungeons and Dragons named Greg Filth. I feel like it's some sort of maybe giant or troll or like demonic creature. I can't remember exactly what he told me that the character was, but sounds pretty neat. I haven't really ever played Dungeons and Dragons, but could be something for fans of the genre to get into, because it is very roleplay, obviously. Jack's project does come from Arkansas, USA, and besides this, there are 7 other albums to get into, the latest of which released December 7th, 2023 of last year. So weird calling last year, 2023. But yeah, it was called Cult of the Sun, which is also out on Rotting Sun Records. So go check out my review and band retrospective of Greg Filth, and obviously go check out his other albums, maybe the most recent one, because bands always want you to pick up their newest thing. So go check out Cult of the Sun from Rotting Sun Records. Greg Filth with Greg Filth Volume 1 from 2023. Pretty interesting compilation. Alright, and the last of the house cleaning type of releases we have here. This is Omen of Darkness by Filth. Thank you to Asbjorn for this review copy. Really appreciate it. Filth are a black metal band straight out of the motherland, Norway, the birthplace of black metal. So you know it's probably going to be good. Let's check out the back here. That is the track listing. Filth started in 2014, have been slowly releasing stuff here and there. Besides Omen of Darkness, they also have a album titled Darkness Devour, which I did a review for, and thanks again, I think, for the copy of that, Asbjorn. It was released in 2019, and besides that, they have 2 other EPs. So there's a little bit of material from Filth to check out. Again, if I'm not pronouncing that properly, my apologies. I am Canadian, so some of these band names and stuff aren't going to be the greatest. I try, but I don't have a tongue for Norwegian or Swedish and stuff like that, so it's probably not going to be right. So yeah, I call them Filth. I'm sure it's not Fluked. That sounds silly. Omen of Darkness, go check it out. And if you want more information about it, go check out my review. Okay, moving on to some more nostalgic stuff for me. It's kind of like a new metal project. I'm not sure what else you'd call them. But anyways, who I'm talking about is System of a Down. This is their Mesmerize and Hypnotize albums, respectively. Of course, it would help if I held them up the right way. So yeah, System of a Down's double album, Mesmerize and Hypnotize, that was released in 2005. There we go. There's the tracks there and there. I think we all could agree, though, that Mesmerize was definitively better than Hypnotize. I've got a couple of Mesmerize shirts now. I haven't seen any shirts for Hypnotize. There's probably a reason for that. There's probably also a reason why there's no shirts for Steal This Album. The artwork was literally just white with Sharpie saying Steal This Album on it. So I don't think anyone's going to buy that shirt. But it was a good album. Anywho, Mesmerize and Hypnotize from 2005. System of a Down, if you don't know, started in 1994. And they come out of California, USA. And besides this, they have 3 other albums. They're self-titled Toxicity and Steal This Album. I think we're all really crossing our fingers that they reunite and release another album, or at least an EP. Like, give us 5 more tracks, or like a compilation of all your unreleased B-sides and rarities and soundtrack related songs. That would be cool too, because I don't think there's anything out there that has Storage on it or Marmalade. I would love to hear Storage and Marmalade in a proper physical format. But yeah, so I got back into System of a Down for a bit. Let's actually open the whole thing up and give you a little swing by here. So there's the CD for Mesmerize. It connects via a little thing that inserts between the 2 booklet parts. And there's the one for Hypnotize. Has a weird skull thing on it. I don't know, I like how that came together, although I feel like Mesmerize should be on top, not below Hypnotize, because when you stick it in a tray, it goes in like this, and then Hypnotize is on top. But I feel like Mesmerize came out a couple of months before Hypnotize, so shouldn't it be? Anyways, yeah, long story short, really good double album, and hopefully not the last by System of a Down. Alright, speaking of System of a Down, like I said, I really got nostalgic and went back and grabbed some old albums that were new metal-y, and of course, if I like System of a Down, I'm probably gonna like Serj Tankian's solo albums, right? So the first of which, again, California, USA. He started with this album in 2007. This one's called Elect the Dead. That writing is kind of hard to see. The album cover art is, I don't know, kind of really weird and boring. Not much to say about it. So, which is not the music, thankfully. The music is mostly new metal, for the albums I'm going to show, at least. And it's really interesting stuff. It's not as heavy or as wild as System of a Down, but it is the lead singer, it is Serj Tankian, and he does what he does best. Some weird vocals, some wild harmonies, just very eccentric, particular style of nu metal, alternative metal, and I enjoy the hell out of it. So yeah, if you didn't know System of a Down basically had other albums with Serj Tankian, yeah, this is it. This is the first one. Check out Elect the Dead from 2007, the first solo album by Serj Tankian. We're gonna skip the second album and the fourth album and the fifth and sixth album. If there is even a seventh album, we're skipping that one too. So all those albums are basically orchestral, acoustic, and jazz type of stuff. I'm only going to be showing off the alternative / nu metal releases from Serj Tankian. So with that in mind, the next album in the list is the third album. It's from 2010, and it is called Harakiri. So yeah, if you dropped off of Serj Tankian stuff after Elect the Dead, you've got a couple of things to pick up. Starting with Harakiri. This one's really fucking good. I would argue that this is even better than Elect the Dead. I managed to pick this up from my local Deja Vu used CD movie store for, I think, maybe $9.99. So, a good steal. Really, really excellent music. Especially if you're into System of a Down or Serj Tankian's vocals. You get a ton of it in here. You get his wild, eccentric stuff in here. You get really funny lines. Just some of the humor in this, whether it's intended or not, perfect. Harakiri is great. Ching Chime is great. Figure It Out, fantastic song. Uneducated Democracy is great. Occupied Tears is great. Just so many good songs on this. You definitely want to pick up Harakiri by Serj Tankian. That came out in 2010, which is the third album. Alright, and the last thing that I'm going to show off by Serj Tankian, but hopefully he releases a physical copy of their second EP, which is called Perplexities, and it came out in 2022. They did come out with a physical copy of their first EP, though. I don't count the actual first two EPs. They're also the orchestral, acoustic, jazz type stuff. Technically, this is their third one, but I count it their first one. This is Elasticity by Serj Tankian. I had to pick this up off of eBay for, I think, about 12 or 13 bucks. I can't remember. But it's probably higher now. So if you search this up on Amazon or eBay, you're probably gonna have to pay a stupid price for it. But if you can find it for around $9, $10, $12, $13, worth it. Every track on this is a banger for one reason or another. I really, really enjoy it. And again, it's that kind of System of a Downy alternative nu metal stuff that Serj Tankian does. It's so good, and some of it's pretty funny. Like, they have a song called Your Mom. It's basically talking about this kind of extremist mom fighting for rights, and he's saying he's going to drop them off in a country and let her take them out. Really, really funny. Elasticity itself is a really good track. How Many Times? Pretty good banger. Roomy is more of a feels type of track. It gets you right in the heart, and kind of like, especially if you're a parent, he's talking about his kid and hoping that he achieves all the things that he sets out to do, and only wishes the best for him. But it's wrapped in a really nice melodic guitar riff and just sound. So yeah. And then Electric Yerevan is just more of the same kind of interesting nu metal, alternative metal, System of a Down kind of stuff. So yeah, don't neglect this EP, because this might be the last bit of stuff we get from him in this style. Again, I hope they come out with a physical copy of Perplexities. It does have, I think, 4 or 5 tracks on it, and I think it's more of the same of this stuff. I'll have to check into it again. I don't remember it being as good as Elasticity, but it's also another EP that's more closer to a System of a Down than it is towards the orchestral, jazzy stuff. So yeah, hope this piqued your interest meter, and maybe you can search for it on eBay or pick up a copy of it if you're interested in Serj Tankian stuff. Same with Harakiri. This is the part of the video where I say, hey, if you've liked it so far and you've made it to this point in the video, please subscribe. I can't even say how many people who come and watch videos on this channel aren't subscribed. I do this at least 2 or 3 times a month. I try bi-weekly, if not every once a week. It depending on how much new stuff I get in and how much time I have. So yeah, if you like this kind of content and you keep coming back here, why not just subscribe so I know you're interested, and it inspires me to keep putting out content. Because sometimes I'm just like, well, if no one wants to watch, then why do I want to waste my time making it? Because as much as I make this stuff for me, at this point in the game, I'm also trying to make stuff for you guys to watch and enjoy, because as someone who watches YouTube, I will like my channels that I'm subscribed to keep on putting out content because I enjoy it. So yeah, consider subscribing. Alright, last two albums on this update video. This one is odd, and it's kind of shitty that you can't find the first two albums anywhere, because the first one was self-released, and the second album that was on a label, I think they only made like maybe 200, 300, 400 copies, and that was it. You're fucked. You can't find it anywhere, not even on Discogs. So the first available album to the public now, if you really look for it, is New Awakening by Days of Jupiter. And if you're like, who the fuck are Days of Jupiter? Don't worry. I didn't really hear of them until I think 2022, maybe the later half of 2021. And then eventually I decided to go to Discogs and pick up a copy for the wife, because we kind of enjoy this stuff. It's hard rock, alternative metal, new metal out of Sweden. So there we go. Here's the Sweden reference again. Really interesting, like Sweden's answer to Disturbed and Egypt Central, or like Godsmack and stuff like that. Kind of that type of new metal, alternative metal type of thing. So yeah, Days of Jupiter, really, really good if you're into the style, of course. They started in, from what I gather, 2010. They have a Spirit of Rock or Spirit of Metal page. They don't probably have a Metal Encyclopedia page, because I doubt Metal Encyclopedia would count these as metal. I guess I should have checked, but I didn't. I just assumed Metal Archives would look at this and be like, hell nah. So there's the track listing there. So it really sucks that their first two albums aren't really available, even on Discogs or eBay. If you find one on eBay or Discogs, it's probably going to be around $70 to $80 to $90. I don't even want to know how much it's going to cost. There's Behind the Tray, or Behind the Disc on the Tray. The other two albums that I was talking about, though, are Secrets Brought to Life, and it's from 2012. The second album that was actually on a label was called Only Ashes Remain, and it's from 2015. And then they released an album after New Awakening called Panoptical, and it was a year later in 2018, and they haven't released anything since, as far as I'm aware. If they have, let me know. Also, if you see a copy of Secrets Brought to Life or Only Ashes Remain, and you aren't trying to pick it up yourself actively, send me a link. I need to get those two albums. They're pretty darn good. This is okay, but not nearly as good as their first two albums. But yeah, so this is their third album from 2017. If you like Disturbed and Godsmack and Cell Dweller and Egypt Central, you might like this. It's hard to describe their sound. It's take out all of David Draymond's ooh ah, 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 kind of shit, and that's pretty much what you got for Days of Jupiter. They're not metalcore. I know this looks so like a metalcore or deathcore album cover, but it's not. Let me know what you think of this. If you're into the new metal scene or alt metal scene, not easy to pick up, but at least it exists, and at least you can pick it up on Discogs and eBay. I'll eventually have to pick up Panoptical, but it's still probably going to cost me around 30 to 35 bucks from Discogs. Maybe more by now, who knows. Moving on to the last entry in this update. It is something that I wasn't really planning on picking up. I heard the first album's tracks briefly, and I'm like, I'm probably going to pass on it. But then we saw this at Walmart for a fairly decent price, I think 12 bucks, and we're like, fuck it, let's just pick it up and give it a shot. I haven't heard anything off of it yet. The first album was okay. So what I'm talking about is Corey Taylor's CMF2, the sequel to 2020's CMFT, which stands for Corey motherfucking Taylor. Yup, that's the name he went for his solo album. So this is the sequel, CMF2. So Corey motherfucking 2. I don't think he thought that out very well. Just like that face makeup definitely was not thought out well. But anywho, as you can see from the front cover of this, there is a couple of his like Slipknot masks on mannequins there. So I kind of assumed, and so did the wife, assumed that this would be somewhat heavier than the first album. And from what I can remember, it is here and there, but it's not anywhere near like heavier Stone Sour, and definitely not anywhere near Slipknot. So don't go into Corey Taylor's solo album thinking any of that's going to happen. This is more just hard rock with pop and some metal here and there, maybe a metal riff or two here and there, maybe a solo, and it's the odd, like, I don't know, dare I say country kind of feel to a couple of songs here and there, more so in his first album, I think, which is why I kind of neglected it. I'm obviously gonna have to go back and fill the gap now because I got the second one, for fuck's sakes. But it is what it is. It's not terrible. It's not even as good as some of the heavier stuff in Stone Sour. But I will say some songs are catchy. Nothing sticks out right now, but there is at least 4 tracks off of here that is worth sifting through the rest to get to. So maybe look it up on YouTube first before picking it up at Walmart or wherever you get your music at that isn't a normal core music store, if you even collect CDs anymore. Because apparently there's people out there who don't collect CDs. What is this world? My buddy Josh from high school, Josh Clark, I did a skateboarding video with him a couple years back. Yeah, dude doesn't even collect CDs anymore. What the fuck? I haven't heard of CDs in a long time. Well, that's because you stopped collecting them. What kind of alien ass person are you that doesn't collect CDs? What? What the fuck? I couldn't imagine a world where I stopped collecting CDs. I don't know. Can any of you think of a world where you don't collect CDs anymore? I can't. That's very strange. Anyways, end of video rant over. But yeah, give this a shot. Again, at least give it a listen to on YouTube somewhere before you pick it up, or absolutely say hell no to it, because you might find a track or two that you're like, oh, that's not terrible. I do throw it in the van every now and then, and not just for the wife. I actually find myself humming along to 1 or 2 of these songs. I can't remember because I listened to it back when I picked this up 3 months ago and just haven't got to making these fucking videos because I've been so busy for the holidays. So yeah, that's the last one on here. Besides that, like I mentioned, there is CMF2, which is in 2020, the first album, and they also have an EP from 2022 called CMFB sides. He went super clever with these. It's just like big brain genius stuff for these album titles. But yeah, apparently there's an EP2 with some like acoustic covers and alternate tracks that weren't on the album, and apparently there's a track or two that inspired Slipknot. I fucking highly doubt that, because nothing on the Corey Taylor solo stuff sounds anything like Slipknot, but it says that on Wikipedia, so who knows? Who knows what to believe? But that's it. That's my 2 fistfuls of metal to start the new year off right. And hopefully you enjoyed this and found something new and interesting to check out. And again, if you've made it this far, give yourself a fucking clap on the back and consider subscribing. Cheers from me. I've been Jesse Morgan. You've been you, whoever you're watching. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next video. For glory, for the rebellion, Slammerella out. Thanks for saying it with me.